Welcome to Nutz at Night. It's Friday night. How is everybody doing out there? From the looks of the chat room there, the video looks good, the audio looks good, or sounds good, so I think we're doing good. Let me just close out some windows here and we'll get started talking about some stuff. One thing I wanted to mention is, and this is actually in response to what Blaine said in the chat room, laptop repair videos. I got 3 more coming out this weekend. Well, maybe 3, definitely 2. I just recorded them today. And I found out that my camera wasn't recording in the highest definition that it could, so I got these things recording in 1080i now. So you're not going to see that on the ones I post on the internet, but when I release the whole set of laptop videos, it's going to be like Blu-ray quality, close to. Blu-ray quality is 1080p. These will be pretty damn close. I don't know if the camera's doing 1080p. I gotta double check, but it's going to look pretty spiffy. Some interesting repairs this time. We had replaced a screen on an iBook, so if you guys want to do... I know, Blaine, it's recorded. Don't worry. It's not... Even though the definition is going to be higher, it's not going to stall anything. We did an iBook screen repair, so if you want to learn how to repair a Mac, we can get you started on that. Then we got a computer, a gateway laptop that the motherboard started smoking, and that's why the customer brought it in and started smoking. Usually when those things start smoking like that, it's pretty much done deal. There's some component on there that just gets fried. But I took this one apart, and in this case, it looks like we might be able to bring this one back to life. It has, it was burning right at the power jack area. So I think that there might have been a loose connection right at the power jack, in which case, if all the components on the motherboard are good and the power jack's bad, that's fixable. I'm just going to get a Radio Shack power jack tomorrow, do that repair, finish the video, and that'll be the 3rd video. The other one was... pretty cool, too. It was a power jack also. I know there are a lot of power jacks, but see, as we do the power jack repairs, you get to see me take it apart. And every model you see me take apart, that's another model you have like in your arsenal there that you can take apart. And this power jack was just pushed in so far that you couldn't even see it anymore. Just pushed into the case of the laptop, so it was pretty much gone. But it's a Toshiba laptop, and it was interesting because those laptop power jacks are connected to the motherboard via 2 wires that are about 3 or 6 inches long. And so all you have to do is reseat that power jack back where it's supposed to be. I put a little support in there, and it's good as new. Okay, I'm going to open up the line. If anybody wants to call, you can definitely call in right now. Skype at Nutz at Night. That's how you call into the show. It's a call-in show. I just talk about some stuff just at first to get us warmed up, get you guys warmed up, and then the line is definitely open. So if anybody wants to call in, get your Skype on and call Nutz at Night, N-U-T-Z-A-T-N-I-G-H-T. Why am I only using Skype? Because everybody out there should be on Skype. So get on Skype if you're not. Because it's good quality, you know what I mean? I don't have to get a phone. Phones are just terrible quality, man. Dying. It's a dying industry, those landline phones. So I don't want to get a phone number if I can help it. But if I don't get a lot of calls, I might have to. So maybe you guys aren't up to that. But I was hoping that everybody would be Skype literate. Well, while I'm waiting for a call, I wrapped up the Samsung monitor and the Bose speakers I bought at Best Buy yesterday. I bought Bose Companion 2 speakers, and I just don't like them. I just don't like them. Here's the thing. In the store, they sound great, of course. But they pretty much have the song optimized so it sounds spectacular through the speakers. I mentioned wanting to get speakers before to complement my iMac here, and you guys gave me some great suggestions. But here's the only thing. I have to hear them before I could buy them. And some of the ones that you mentioned, I haven't been able to hear yet. So I actually don't mind buying them and returning them if they don't sound good. But that's like I did with the Bose. But I'm going to try to listen to the ones that you guys mentioned. And if anybody else has any good speaker suggestions, like a 2-speaker desktop system for a computer, that's like about $100, $120. Something sounds really good. I'm open to suggestions for that. Okay, I mentioned the other day about maybe doing website design for computer repair shops, computer repair technicians, because I get so much feedback on that. I thought about just doing them for some of you guys, but you know what? I thought about it, and I don't want to do it. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't want to mix business with the podcast in that way. You know what I mean? Suppose I do a bad website for somebody, and he gets in the chat room and starts blabbing about it or something. It's just not that would happen, and not that that's the only reason, but it's the risk. It's just you don't want to mix those two things. So I will definitely help you guys critique with critiquing websites. If you have any questions, I'll answer them. And use the Podnutz forums and use the Podnutz Lounge, and put your questions and suggestions in there. People could help you design a website. And my best advice, and I say this every time, and I don't mean it in a cocky or arrogant way, if your computer repair website is not getting traffic or you're not getting calls off of it, or the traffic you're getting to it is not converting into sales, look at my website at geekforceonline.com and just copy it. Like, copy the design, like copy the layout, copy the word for word. I don't care. I probably don't want you to copy actually Photoshop the graphic out of there and reimpose it on yours. But I'm talking about the layout, because it works. And that combination I haven't changed for about 2 years. So I'm keeping the website there because it works. So I know it works in my area. So if you do want something that works, the only other factor would be in your area. Maybe it won't work. But if you were in the Philadelphia area and you had my website and you were getting traffic to it, people would call you. So you can use that as an example, because I do know it works. And that's one of the best tips I could give you as far as website. So if you have a question about your website and you have some feedback, before you even ask me, just go to geekforceonline.com, look at that site, and see if that answers your question. Maybe something on my website will answer your question for you, as far as the layout and that kind of thing. Okay, Windows 7. I'm going to keep talking about it because why not? I mean, it's the big thing right now. I just put it on a Dell Inspiron laptop yesterday. This is a Dell Inspiron. I got it a couple months ago at Best Buy. I don't know the exact model number, but it's got a dual-core Pentium processor, not the Core 2 Duo. And it's black. It's got a blue cover. I don't remember the exact model number, but I loaded 7 on it yesterday. So far, I actually did notice one little bug today when I was running it. The taskbar started flickering in a kind of a funny way. And then it stopped, and that lasted for about 10 seconds, 20 seconds. So I don't know what that was about. Other than that, the only application I loaded on it was Full Tilt Poker. And that runs fine, so I'll keep you guys posted on how my Windows 7 exploits. In the chat room there, I'm getting some questions. Steve, what do you use to design the site, CSS or HTML? Well, Ron, I'm going to tell you something very interesting about my site. I was so lazy when I did it. There's almost not a lick of HTML on the site. That thing is basically a graphic. The whole site is a graphic. There's no tables. There's no nothing. There's one division I did have to make that form that I have in there so people can enter their information and stuff like that. Other than the form, that thing's just a JPEG or a PNG or something. I use Adobe Fireworks, and I always lay out my whole site in Adobe Fireworks. I just create it as a graphic, as a giant JPEG. And then if I need to break up things, I break them up. But in my site, I sliced it into 8 pieces or 5 pieces or however many pieces so it'll load faster. I just sliced it up a little.